Hello everyone, I'm Carolyn Trebetskoy. I'm the Honorary Consul for Germany here in Saint Lucia, and behind me is our second boatload of goods for Soufriere in Dominica. I was extremely happy with our German embassy in Trinidad to have made available immediately relief funds of €50,000, which were used both in Trinidad and also in Saint Lucia to prepare shipments for Dominica. The shipment in Trinidad consisted of generators and electric chainsaws. Here in Saint Lucia we focused on other immediate relief items that were needed: water, food, also hygiene articles. I know right now it feels like it's just a drop on a hot stone, but it's just the beginning, and everyone in Saint Lucia that I know, the German embassy, we're all committed to keep going and bring as much help as we can to Dominica and the other islands in the Caribbean that have been affected.
My name is Sylvester Saint-Ville. I'm the Acting Chief Environmental Health Officer for Dominica. We are in Pottersville. That's an urban area next to the city of Roseau. It forms part of the municipality of Roseau. This area was severely affected by the storm. We had the high storm surge, and we had a river, wind and rain inundating the area. All of the residents here are affected. What is really needed presently is assistance for the residents in this area, because as you could see, the river brought in lots of rubble, and if you look at the sea, there are cars in the sea, brought to the sea by the river. So this area has been really affected. We are presently working with the CATS program and GIZ, CARPHA and PAHO and other development agencies, Red Cross, to see how we can provide some assistance and some recovery for Dominica at this present time.
We are here in Soufriere-Scott based on a response coordinated by the Caribbean Aqua-Terrestrial Solutions Program, which is a joint program between the Caribbean Public Health Agency and the German Development Corporation. Now, the program itself is an agreement between CARICOM, which is the CARICOM community, and the Federal Republic of Germany. So we have been working over the past 3 years with the Soufriere-Scott Marine Managed Area and the local management authority for the management of the natural resources, in particular, specifically the marine and coastal resources of the area. Now, it is the second time we had to foot disaster response and relief effort with regards to natural hydrometeorological events. The first was Hurricane Erika in 2015, and now in 2017 we are footing the same response based on this devastation caused by Hurricane Maria.
Since the passing of Maria that ravaged Dominica, devastated our country on the 18th of September, we have had a response from our funding agency of LAMA, and which are funding projects throughout the Caribbean, which we are one of the benefactors here in Dominica, and that is the Scott-said Soufriere Marine entity. Our office has been damaged, our roof is gone. Most of our office stationery that got wet, everything in the office has been damaged. Also to the boat that was donated to us through the CATS program, that too was damaged. And so even our staff at this point, our wardens, at this point, we're not even sure if we have anything to keep them employed.
We are actually looking at the basic supplies. Water is something that is critical for health and is critical for sustaining life. So water and access to drinking water, we have our second load of bottled water from Saint Lucia. So we are working with the community and trying first and foremost to ensure that we do not have the proliferation of diseases, that the people have access to food, and they actually have food items, canned items that would actually allow them to be sustained to go forward to the rehabilitation and the restoration phase of the disaster.
I'd like to say thank you to the GIZ and the German Embassy for all of the assistance that have gotten to us thus far. We are eternally grateful for all the water, and it's a very healthy stock of water, I must say. We are happy for that because we have no running water at the moment, and as a people who are accustomed to having lots and lots of water, it's quite an ordeal to have to go without, so we are eternally thankful for the water that we have received.
We have been able to get relief. We got relief last Friday, and today, Sunday, yet again another trip, thanks to Dr. Vogel, Lindell and his team, and representative on the ground, Dr. Camille, Brendan Defoe, and Dominicans working with CATS, we were able to have relief items. And the German Embassy, we've been able to receive relief items following the passing of Maria.
For the past year and a half, I've been in Dominica, but I've just been transferred to Saint Lucia as the program officer for the CATS participating territories. So far on the ground, I must say that CATS GIZ has been very responsive to the needs and the understanding of the local people on the ground, particularly in the Soufriere-Scott communities. Last 2 years, when Erica happened, GIZ responded with similar enthusiasm. So we got tremendous supplies, and the people were very appreciative of the supplies that they got, and that I think went a long way in relieving some of the immediate difficulties that the people have.
My experience, oh my God, where do I begin? It was probably the single most terrifying event that I have ever witnessed. The winds were howling, they spoke, they howled again, and then they whispered, it did all sorts of things, and then the water was just terrifying. But I'm alive and well, so I'm thankful.
Maria was a monster to me. Maria came, we had a warning, but Maria came like a surprise to us. We wasn't waiting, though we had a warning. But I could tell you, Hurricane David, nowhere to compare to Maria. Maria had us deaf and dumb. That is true.
At this time around, we have responded equally, even better. And that's the second trip of supplies, water, food, critical supplies for the people of the community. On the ground, there are little difficulties in terms of how distribution is going, but by and large, we have the support of the police, we have the support of the community. There's a central store area where the food is being brought, and there is a distribution system that has been in place based on the population by wards within the respective communities. So I think that has been working, and the support of the local police and the people is very, very critical in ensuring that it is distributed fairly and squarely.
I would like to thank the German Embassy and the GIZ for the relief and the water supply. Hurricane Maria was a very devastating hurricane. Category 5. The whole village, 100% of Dominica have been affected. Out of 75,000 population, 56,000 have been affected by this hurricane.
Well, I'd hope that moving forward, our people don't build in the river, because we have lots of people actually building in river. We have people building on the riverbank. We have people who live in ravines. We have people who live on the cliffs. So moving forward, I hope that planning does its job and make sure that nobody builds in places where they know we're going to have some disastrous results. Our homes, though, I'm now thinking that probably concrete structures are
well, concrete roofing is probably the best for our homes, but then even that is a problem because when we get those earthquakes, no telling what's going to happen then. Remitigating, I think we just probably have to prepare the best that we can and deal with the consequences the best that we can.
Our commitment to the community would not stop here, and we would continue to work with the community to improve the livelihoods and to assist persons in rebuilding their life, and also to continue the management of the resources from which the community would be required to use the resources in order to, for the economic benefits and in order to ensure that the natural resources are managed in a sustained way.